him, seeing he has defied the armies of the living God. You can get seated. You can take a seat. You can take a seat. You can take a seat. Today is a good day. Smile. Say with me, today is a good day. Now say it loud enough that they can hear you even up here. Today is a good day. Today is a good day. And so I want to take my time. I want to ease into the sermon. I want to talk to some folk who look over their life and they may not be where they want to be, but they can honestly say they're a lot further than where they began the race. I want to talk to some folk that you know that every day is a journey, every day is a trial, every day is a tribulation, but you've made up in your sanctified soul that you're not going to give up. Is there anybody that can testify that God has brought me too far to stop right now? And it's not that I think I'm all that. It's just I know what I used to be, and I'm happy of where I am right now. And I want to talk to some folk that you are in the middle of a battle right now. And in fact, if God doesn't show up, you don't know if you're going to make it to tomorrow. You don't know if you can keep your job. You don't know if you can keep your family. You don't know if you can keep your sanity. You don't know if you can keep your health. Is there anybody in here that everything ain't a bed of roses, but you're still praising God because you can feel the thorns of the roses even while you're trying to rest? There was a situation where Sophia meets Celie in a cornfield. Don't act like you always been saying, y'all done seen The Color Purple. Sophia is going through that cornfield, comes into contact with Miss Celie, and she offers up the line of a lifetime. She says, Celie, all my life I've had to fight. Is there anybody that's your testimony that when you really deal with things, and I can't even tell y'all everybody I done fought with, every demon I done battled, but I can tell you this, that all my life I've had to fight. And if I seem a little edgy, it's because I haven't known a peaceful time in my life. I've always had to fight something or someone on some issue here or there. So for a few minutes, I want to talk about this sermon. All my life, I've had to fight. First of all, I had to fight in my family. I've had some cousins, amen, who got on my nerves. They got on my reserve nerve. That's the nerve on the other side of my last nerve. I had some relatives that didn't like how I look. I had some relatives that didn't like that my grandmother loved me so much. I had some relatives that didn't like the shoes I had on. I had some relatives that didn't like the clothes I had on. And sometimes you do know, even your family members will despise you in some situation. Is there anybody here that's not so saved that you can't testify that it was some of your own family that made you fight the most? I'm almost through preaching already. I can remember being in Sapulpa, Oklahoma, and having to deal with my cousins and having to let them know that I ain't taking no whoopings, and if you keep on talking, you're going to say the right thing sooner or later, and it's going to lead to a confrontation, and it's going to get physical. Had to fight in my family. Some of y'all know that you had to fight for the last piece of chicken. Preach, Davis. You had to fight inside your family, and some of us have to testify we've had to fight on our job. It's amazing that folks will be mad at you because you have a skill set and they don't know that you didn't get it yourself, but God showed you favor on the job, and they'll dislike you because God is promoting you, and they'll do all they can to try to trap you, but you got to know what God has for you. I mean, you're on your own job, minding your own business, and you're getting promotion after promotion, and folks all of a sudden stop inviting you to things. You ever notice that the more God elevates you, the more folk try to hate on you, and you've got to make up your mind. I'd rather have the blessings of God than have the invitation of sorry folk. Y'all missed that. Let me help y'all out. I'd rather have the blessing of God than to have the invitation of sorry folk. If you don't like me on my come up, then leave me alone and let me just be alone with God. Sometimes you got to fight on your job because people don't like you, but sometimes they don't like you because you didn't say it too much. Help me, Holy Ghost. Y'all do remember Joseph telling his brothers, one day all y'all gonna bow down to me. One day all y'all gonna report to me. Can I go ahead and contemporize the text? Joseph looks at his cousins, his brothers, and say, one day y'all gonna answer to me. And you got to be careful of telling folk who have no ambition that you one day gonna be the boss. Because the same rascal who never wanted anything will make up in their mind they just don't want you to have it. And there are some things you got to hide in your heart and just trust God that God's gonna bring it to pass. Not only do we fight in the family, not only have we had some fight on the jobs, but some of us have had some fights in life. We're on the sunset of the 20-year anniversary of the Million Man March, and my younger brother Haley is at the march and having a good time and learning a lot. And I'm not going to lie to y'all. I really like listening to Farrakhan. Don't put me out to church. But I really like listening to Farrakhan. I really like how he challenges us to be better. Now, his biblical interpretation has some stuff to be desired, and you got to understand that if you won't stand up, somebody else will. And I understand the argument that we've got to do better, and I understand the argument justice or else. But here's my problem with Farrakhan. Define else. If you don't give me justice and I take your life, I am no longer injustice. Y'all missed that. You see, I have a higher law than the law of the land. I've got God's law, and the word tells me that there are enemies that will be all around me, but God said, I will fight your battles. I can't take the law in my own hands. I got to understand that what God has for me, it is for me. Is there anybody that ever been fired from one job only to have another job waiting for you? Y'all missed that. Y'all missed it. Y'all too churchy over there. Let me talk to some real folk. Anybody ever been let go of one job and another job was there waiting for you? That's God ordering your steps. And it's amazing how God will use the enemy to cause an ugly situation over here just to get you in the right place over here, because the blessing is over here. I thank God for every trick of the enemy that he thought he won, but God said, I'm going to have the last word. There have been some fight in our life. There have been some times where you got accused of some stuff you didn't do. But before you get too crazy, you better thank God that they don't know the stuff you did do. That went over y'all head. Let me back up and pick you up. Some of y'all came to school on a short bus today. Yeah, there's some things they accuse you that you didn't do, but you better be glad they don't know everything that you did. Is there anybody that'll testify that you're so glad God covered up some of your mistakes, some of your falls? I thank God for every accusation. Why? There's a whole lot more I did do that y'all just don't know. So I thank God that God is so good to me that he'll let a little noise come out, but there's a whole lot of stuff that's been covered in the grace. So I've had some fights in life. I've had some illnesses that I didn't do nothing wrong, but the illness still knocked on my door. You can mind your own business and your own body will get sick. You can be praising God on the third row every Sunday and your own body can get sick. And what God says is not the sickness I'm worried about. It's your reaction to the sickness that I'm worried about. Will you praise me with a little pain in your body? Will you praise me with a little cancer in your body? Will you praise me with high blood pressure? Will you praise me with this situation, this ailment? And I'm so glad that some of y'all have made up in your mind, let the redeemed of the Lord. I'm sick, but I'm still redeemed. I'm hurting, but I'm still redeemed. I'm going to keep praising him. See, what happens for a lot of us is as long as I'm winning, I'll fight. As long as my enemy is smaller than me, I'll fight. Come on. Some of y'all are coward fighters. You start looking at the numbers before you decide if you're gonna swing. I want to see if I'm gonna win this fight before I start swinging. But there's some real fighters up in here that know the bigger they are, the harder they fall. It's not the size of the dog that's in the fight, but it's the size of the fight that's in the dog. You better not mess with me because I might just go off. And you got to understand that when you are a true fighter, there is no battle that you won't jump in. That's what gets fighters in trouble. You ever been minding your own business and your buddy got hit? And you found yourself in a fight? And it wasn't until after the fight you had to ask him, what were we fighting for? And sometimes you had to tell your friend, the next time you mess up like that, don't you fight in front of me, because you know I got an inclination to jump in the fight. And you got to be careful jumping in fights you don't know nothing about. Y'all still with me? Listen. If my friend go mess with that man's wife, and that man find out about it, and he decide he want to fight my friend, I'm not helping my friend. Now I might pull the man off my friend because I don't want my friend to get beat up. But I'm not fighting. Not fighting for that. I ain't gonna mess up my good clothes. Can I take y'all back to Tulsa, Oklahoma? I knew I was going to get a whooping when I got home if I messed up my good clothes. So I had to evaluate, is this fight worth that whooping I'm going to get for messing up my good clothes? And if it wasn't worth the whooping I was going to get, I had to tell some folk, man, you got to do this one on your own. Now, if I had my play clothes on and I knew I wasn't going to get in trouble, it was tell on myself before somebody chat in there and say David's been fighting his whole life. All my life I've had to fight. Let me contemporize the text. Here David is, and David goes to Saul. And he says to Saul, listen, he says, I'm going to fight. Saul says to David, man, this giant will kill you. This giant is a man of war, and he's been trained in war, and he's won a whole lot of battles, and you might just need to chill out on this one. And David did like Sophia did. He said, listen, King, all my life I've had to fight. He said, I was the youngest of all my siblings, and they didn't even like me. In fact, they lived up in the big house, and they sent me out to tend the sheep and the donkey. All my life, I've had to fight. They were bigger than I were, and they got all the good pieces of chicken and left me nothing but a leg and a back. All my life, I've had to fight. Even when they came to anoint the new king, they tried to pour the oil on everybody else's head, and they even forgot about me. Daddy don't know, but I was in the other room listening, and Daddy even forgot about me. All my life I had to fight. Nobody invited me to the party. Nobody gave me a pat on the back. Nobody said I was going to be anybody. All my life I've had to fight. So, King, if you don't mind, I just want to do what I know. I want to keep on fighting. I need to talk to some of y'all that you've been fighting all your life, but for the first time the enemy has hit you and he's stunned you. He's knocked you off of your seat. He's knocked you off of your level of and I need to tell you that before you give in, before you quit, God sent me here to tell you, if you've been fighting all your life, keep on fighting. I know it don't look good, but keep on fighting. I know the odds are stacked against you, but keep on. You gotta keep on. You gotta keep on fighting. Now here's the difference between where I've been and where I am now. When I was in the world and I had a fight, I always made sure that my feet were planted so I could get the first punch. Come on and walk with me. You do know a bully don't like it when he get hit in the mouth. And so I made sure my feet were planted so I could swing first. But that was where I was. Where I am now, I realize, is not about having my feet planted. It's now about having my knees planted. Come on, I know I missed you on that one. I used to want to throw the first punch, but now I want to get on my knees first and talk to somebody that's never lost a battle, that's never lost a war, that's never lost a case. I got to get on my knees and talk to the Father and ask for permission before I do anything. The problem we have is that you're trying to fight a spirit using physical tactics. You trying to fight a demon using physical tactics. And you got to realize that the only way you're going to fight a spirit is by the Spirit. And you got to realize it is a fixed fight. No matter what he does, no matter what he says, no matter how big he is, it's still a fixed fight. Because I read the end of the story, and the end of the story says, I'm going to win. Y'all missed that. I'm going to win. I might have some battle scars, but I'm still going to win. I might have to cry tonight, but I'm still going to win. I might have a scar here and a scar there, but I'm still. I'm still gonna win. So when it looks to the outside like I'm losing, I'm in the right place. When it looks to the outside like I don't know what I'm doing, I'm in the right place. Because God is so wonderful and he's so awesome that when the enemy came to get me, and he came in like a flood, God raised up a standard. I'm so happy, I'm so happy, I'm so happy. Y'all gonna have to forgive me. I feel my help coming in a minute up in here. I'm so happy that I no longer have to fight like I used to have to fight. Because the Lord said, this battle is not yours, it's the Lord's. And I'm so glad that every time the enemy tries to strike out against me, God says, if you just hold your peace and keep talking to me, watch if I won't show up and show out. Is there anybody ever found yourself in the middle of a battle, and the more you were swinging, the worse it got? But the moment you open up your hand and said, Father, I stretch my hand to thee, no help I know that God came in just on time. So you got to lean over to your neighbor and say, neighbor, all my life I had to fight, and I ain't got tired yet. I'm going to keep on fighting until the Lord says, servant, well done. I'm going to keep on fighting until the Lord says, take your rest. I'm going to keep on fighting. There are some folk that I've learned will leave you alone if you just act like you want to fight. Some of y'all know what I'm talking about. If you just act like you want to fight, they'll leave you alone. There's some demons that'll leave you alone if you just act like you want to fight. There's some sicknesses that'll leave you alone if you just act like you want to fight. There's some folk on your job that'll leave you alone if you just act like you're going to fight. Every once in a while, I got to tell some folk, if you keep messing with me, I do know how to spell lawyer. Just the thought of wanting to fight make folk back up off of you. And some of y'all keep getting beat up week in and week out because you won't tell the enemy I'm ready to fight. But is there anybody in here that will declare, if you mess with me again, this time you won't make it out the room. I'm going to put prayer on you. I'm going to put the word on you. But I promise you, you mess with the wrong one this time. Sometimes I gotta look at folks. Every once in a while, people lose their mind and they wanna stare on you, stare you down. Some of y'all been with me before. When I give them that look, I tell them I'm undefeated. And I ain't taking no whoopings. Praise God. Sometimes you gotta tell somebody what you really mean if you mean business. And if you get sick and tired of being sick and tired of being sick and tired of being sick and tired, I double dog dare you to tell that demon, I'm tired of being tired. God told me I can have peace, I'm going to have it today. God told me I can have joy, I'm going to have it today. I'm going to fight for this. I'm not going to let it go. I'm not going to let you run. Listen, some of y'all can't get joy because you let your emotions run away with you. You're hot 1 minute, cold 1 minute, hot 1 minute, cold. Listen, you got control over your emotions. He says, King, all my life I've had to fight. And let me just give you a rundown of some of the battles that I had. He said, a lion and a bear came for my father's sheep. Same father that didn't let me stay up in the house, that made me tend the sheep all by myself. But I wasn't going to let daddy down. I went after the lion and the bear. And listen, this is what he says. I took the sheep out of their mouth. I need to talk to y'all good passive believers that the enemy keep taking stuff from you and you sitting here writing him a letter saying, would you please bring it back to me? God says, no. I need you to be aggressive in this war. And if you know what the enemy took from you, go take it back. Don't ask for permission. It was already yours. Don't go ask if he feels like it. It was already yours. Go take it back and take it out of his mouth if you have to. That's how much boldness. That's how much boldness God says I need you to have. So can I go ahead and testify and get up out of here? Can I testify and get up out of here? When I think about every battle that I got to deal with, when I think about any time the enemy comes, I have to tell him all my life I've had to fight. And then I got to go through the roll call. I was born to two people who were not married, and they were both teenagers. The world said I should have died, but God said he's going to live. All my life I had to fight. Mama went to work and grandma raised me. That would be statistically equivalent to saying I was going to end up in the prisons. But all my life I had to fight. I was in speech therapy for 6 long years. They said I wasn't going to ever talk right. But all my life I had to fight. When didn't nobody want me? On their team. God sent me all the way to Kansas and found me a team. All my life I had to fight. When they said I wasn't going to make it, God made a way out of no way. So if God did it back then, I know that he will. I know that he can. And I know that he's able. This ain't my first fight. And because it ain't my first fight, I'm not going to lose my mind over one punch that went over some of y'all head. I'm not going to lose my mind over one diagnosis that went over your head. I'm not going to lose my mind over one test result that went over your head. I'm not going to lose my mind over one doctor's opinion that went over your head. I'm not going to lose my mind over one evaluation that went over your head. I'm not going to lose my mind off of one swing on the enemy when I understand what God has in me. We get hit, and the first thing we do is we go into the fetal position. Just don't hit me again. Some of y'all quit answering y'all phone because you had one bad phone call. Just preach up in here, David. Some of y'all ain't been back to your doctor because he gave you one bit of bad news. How many of you know that if you never get bad news, the enemy, the doctor, will never be able to celebrate the good news? Let me help y'all out over here. If he never see the bad x-ray, he won't gain faith when he see the good x-ray. That's what God specializes in. He'll give you a little report, but he's sitting there saying, whose report will you believe? Will you believe the x-ray, or will you believe the word of God? Will you believe the opinion, or will you believe the truth? Will you believe what they say about you, or will you believe what I know about? I've been called all kinds of stuff in my life. I wish I could say that I always made straight A's. But I've had some D's on my report card. I wish I could say that I've always been the teacher's pet. But I was a teacher's thorn. And it wasn't in their hand. I wish I could say that I've always been the guy that every coach wanted on their team. But I've been lazy. I've been bad. I've been slothful. I've been mean. I've been short-tempered. I've been ostracized. I've been talked about. I've had rumors about me. I've been at the wrong place, sis. Done the wrong things. Had folk tell me I wasn't going to ever be nobody. Had family members laugh at me. Had folk talk about me. Had folk walk out in my life. Had folk never want to be in my life. I've had some doctors do some tests and say I had this and say I had that. I've had some nurses who took my blood work and shook their head when they read the report. I've had some situations, I've had some physicals that they said you probably shouldn't pass. I've had some ugly situations, but through it all, there was one choice I had. It was live or die. Y'all missed that. I've had some good days. I've had some bad days. I've had some sunny days, and I've had some rainy days. And it still came down to the choice, are you going to live or are you going to die? I've had my kids born, and I've buried my parents. I've had some good days. I've had some bad days. I've smiled and laughed all night long. also cried myself to sleep, and it still came down. Are you gonna live or are you gonna die? Did I leave any of y'all out? Let me help you out. I was on my way to hell and on my way to heaven, and it still came down to the same choice. Are you gonna live or are you gonna die? I need somebody who's not afraid to stand up and tell the enemy, I'm gonna live, I'm gonna fight, and I'm gonna live, I'm gonna live, I'm gonna live, I'm gonna live, I'm made up. If God is for me, if God is for me, if God is for me, who can be against me? You keep forgetting who you got on your side. If God is for me, then there's not a demon in hell that can